pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chief. In case of an emergency, I would ask that you exit through the rear doors out to the parking lot or to the side door, which will not be used only if in an emergency. A Happy New Year to everyone here tonight. Welcome to the new CCL, the Community Center and Library Building. For the duration of the town of West Seneca, the town board meetings will be held in this room. Also, just for your information, zoning board and planning board meetings will also be held in this room. I would now ask for Mr. Hanley, Councilman Hanley, to begin with the reorg. Before we do that, Jacqueline Felser, our town clerk, if you would take the roll.
Supervisor Meeting.
Present.
Councilman Hart.
Present.
And Councilman Hanley.
Present. I move that the town elected officials' salaries are as follows. Supervisor Sheila Megan, $72,500. Council members Eugene Hart, William Hanley, $21,000 each. Town clerk Jacqueline Felser, $61,305.25. Highway superintendent Matthew English, $93,359.68. Town justices the Honorable Shannon Filbert and the Honorable Jeffrey Harrington, $42,965.44 each.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move to accept the resignation of John Fenns, town attorney, effective December 31st, 2018, and authorize the supervisor to execute the necessary forms for Erie County personnel.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
3. I move that Tina Hawthorne be appointed as town attorney for a term set pursuant to Town Law 24 at an annual salary of $70,000, effective January 1st, 2019, and authorize the supervisor to complete and sign the necessary forms for Erie County personnel.
Second.
Second, and on the question?
On the question, I would like Tina Hawthorne to come up, take her place, but before you sit down, Tina, we're going to swear you into office. Our town clerk will take given the oath. And then I would ask you to sign the book.
Tina, raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
Tina Marie Hawthorne,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of town attorney for the town of West Seneca
of town attorney for the town of West Seneca
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
It should be noted that history is made tonight. Tina Hawthorne will be the first sitting female town attorney for the town of West Seneca.
Okay, still on the question, I'd like to thank John Fenns for his service in difficult times. He is moving on to Erie County Clerk's Office as the legal deputy for the county clerk's office. And we wish him well, and I want to welcome Tina aboard. My mother and my wife have always said that if you want somebody to do a great job, appoint a woman, so that's what we're doing.
There you go.
Good luck, Tina, and you're welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Yes.
I too will miss John and his talents, and we wish him well. It's a opportunity that couldn't be passed up. I will say that he asked us as a board if we wanted him to stay, he would, but there was no way we would, not be able to afford him that opportunity. So we wish him well. He's an incredible man, and all the best to him. And Tina, you are gonna do great. And we're extremely proud to have a woman sitting in this seat and making history, so congratulations to you too.
And I'm gonna follow up on that. Welcome, Tina. It's glad to have you part of the team. I too am gonna miss John Fenn's, his humor. He's a brilliant attorney, and we are gonna miss him a lot. So, I hope that he does well in his job that he's taken on, so.
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Okay. Thanks. I move that Kimberly Carnegie and John Manier be appointed as town prosecutors at an annual salary of $8,500 each effective January 1st, 2019, and authorize the supervisor to complete and sign the necessary forms for Erie County personnel.
Second, I would ask that Kim come up to be sworn in as town prosecutor. Another fine, fabulous, brilliant female taking another position in the town.
Okay, Kimberly, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Kimberly Kennedy, do solemnly swear I will support the Constitution of the United States
That I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of town prosecutor for the town of West Seneca
of town prosecutor for the town of West Seneca
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you so much. This is so wonderful. Thank you. So looking forward to it. Very nice.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
I move that Kimberly Carnegie be appointed. Oh, I'm sorry, that's right. I move that Kimberly Carnegie be appointed deputy town attorney at an annual salary of $4,000 effective January 1st, 2019. Authorize the supervisor to complete and sign the necessary forms for Erie County personnel, noting that the deputy town attorney's services shall be limited to providing counsel to the zoning board of appeals.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move that John Manier be appointed deputy town attorney at an annual salary of $4,000 effective January 1st, 2019, and authorize the supervisor to complete and sign the necessary forms for Erie County personnel, noting that the deputy town attorney's services shall be limited to providing counsel to the Board of Ethics.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Clark Patterson and Lee be hired as provider of engineering services to the town at a cost not to exceed $75,000 per year.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Harris Beach PLLC be retained as a bond counsel to the town of West Seneca for all financing matters. Services will be performed at the fees and charges as described in the Harris Beach Bond Counsel Engagement Agreement dated December 12, 2018, and that the supervisor is hereby authorized to complete and execute a retainer agreement with said firm for all financing matters in substantially the same form as said December 12, 2018 agreement for the town of West Seneca. All in favor?
Aye.
On the question? move to authorize the supervisor to sign the assessor's renewal agreement with the town of Alma effective January 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2019. The amount of this agreement is $47,600.81.
Second.
On a question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move to authorize the supervisor to sign a grant consulting agreement with Connie D. Minor in the amount of $30,000 a year in equal monthly installments effective January 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2019.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Jacqueline Felser be appointed Register of Vital Statistics at an annual salary of $4,062 effective January 1st, 2019. All fees collected go to the town general fund, and authorize the supervisor to complete and sign the necessary forms for Erie County personnel.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Move on the recommendation of the town clerk that Amy Kobler be appointed Deputy Register of Vital Statistics at an annual salary of $1,661 effective January 1st, 2019, and authorize the supervisor to complete and sign the necessary forms for Erie County personnel.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move on the recommendation of the town clerk Jacqueline Felser that Amy Kobler be appointed first deputy clerk effective January 1st, 2019, with an annual stipend of $2,500.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Moved on the recommendation of the town clerk Jacqueline Felser that Laureen Fishionne be appointed second deputy clerk effective January 1st, 2019, with an annual stipend of $1,000.
Second.
And on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Moved on the recommendation of the town justices that Maureen Brownsey be appointed liaison for the court effective January 1st, 2019, with an annual stipend of $1,500.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Moved on the recommendation of Highway Superintendent Matthew English that Kevin Smith be appointed Deputy Highway Superintendent effective January 1st, 2019, at an annual salary of $6,000, and that he act in the capacity of the Highway Superintendent in the event of his absence for any reason, example, vacation, illness, and so on, and authorize the supervisor to complete and sign the necessary forms for Erie County personnel.
Second.
On the question? All
Yes,
in favor?
Kevin is here tonight, so Kevin, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Good luck, Kevin.
You're replacing a tough guy to replace.
He's a tough guy himself.
I know, that's what
Got nothing but the best.
I move that Dennis Osinski, Stephen DeSalvo be appointed to Board of Plumbing Examiners effective January 1st, 2019, at an annual stipend of $500 each.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Ed Simoncelli and Dennis Karimbalas, be appointed to the Board of Electrical Examiners effective January 1st, 2019.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move that James Pace be appointed Town Historian at an annual salary of $4,500 effective January 1st, 2019.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move that the following be appointed to the Environmental Commission. One-year term effective January 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2019. Evelyn Hicks, Chairman. Camille Jarrell, Carl Spencer. Two-year term effective January 1st, 2019, expiring December 31st, 2020. Emily Baker, Lauren Massett, Richard Rutkowski, Michael Wass. One-year term effective January 1st, 2019, expiring December 31st, 2019. Amy Kobler. Two-year term effective January 1st, 2019, expiring December 31st, 2020. Aubrey Murphy. Youth, one-year term effective January 1st, 2019, expiring December 31st, 2019. Matthew Roach.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Move that Patricia Loss be appointed to the Library Board effective January 1st, 2019 for a 5-year term ending December 31st, 2023.
Second.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Move that the annual salaries of the Zoning Board of Appeals and Planning Board be set at $5,946 for the chairman of each board and $4,032 each for other members of each board effective January 1st, 2019, and authorize the supervisor complete and sign the necessary forms for Erie County personnel, noting that each member of the board will be paid 1/12 of their annual salary with absences paid at the discretion of the chairman. However, 3 missed meetings could be reason for removal from the board.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Move that Timothy Elling be appointed as chairman of the Zoning Board of Appeals effective January 1st, 2019 for a 5-year term ending December 31st, 2023.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Move that Dale McCabe be appointed to the Planning Board effective January 1st, 2019 for a 7-year term ending December 31st, 2025.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Move that Jacqueline Felser be appointed as secretary to the Planning Board in an annual salary of $4,300 effective January 1st, 2019, and authorize the supervisor to complete and sign the necessary forms for Erie County personnel.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Jacqueline Felser be appointed as secretary to the Zoning Board of Appeals at an annual salary of $4,300 effective January 1st, 2019, and authorize the supervisor to complete and sign the necessary forms for Erie County personnel.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Amy Kobler be appointed as secretary to the Ethics Board effective January 1st, 2019.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Anthony Alessi, Michael Shea, and Mark Kwiatkowski of West Seneca be appointed civil officers of the town of West Seneca effective January 1st, 2019, for the purpose of service of process and so on, without remuneration from the town.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Dominic Russo be appointed to the Board of Assessment Review for a 5-year term effective January 1st, 2019, for a term expiring September 30, 2023.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Move that the members of the Board of Assessment Review be subject to the call of the assessor at an annual stipend of $500 each, and that the chairman of the Board of Assessment Review at an annual stipend of $750, effective January 1st, 2019.
Second.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. I move that the following officials and employees not represented by the collective bargaining agreement recognized by the town of West Seneca are hereby appointed to the following positions with salaries effective January 1st, 2019. Megan Winnick, Director of Finance, $71,750. Daniel Dents, Chief of Police, $154,275.85. Michael Behringer, Assistant Chief of Police, $136,511.19. Dina Wexelman, Secretary to the Highway, $50,829.78. Emily Melsky, Chief of Staff, Secretary to the Supervisor, $50,829.78. Katie Almeida, Clerk to the Town Justice, $50,829.78. Julie Korzinski, Clerk to the Town Justices, $43,274.38, and authorize the supervisor to complete and sign the necessary forms for Erie County personnel.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Matthew English be appointed as Dog Control Officer at an annual stipend of $7,000 effective January 1st, 2019, and authorize the supervisor to sign the necessary forms for Erie County personnel.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Donna Major be appointed to a 1-year term of bingo inspector with the town of West Seneca at an annual salary of $1,800, with said terms commencing January 1st, 2019 and expiring December 31st, 2019.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Move that John Manier be appointed American with Disabilities Officer and Harassment Compliance Officer for the town of West Seneca with an annual stipend of $1,000.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Move that Peter Spilsbury be appointed Emergency Manager at an annual salary of $25 per hour per incident, effective January 1st, 2019, and authorize the supervisor to complete and sign the necessary forms for Erie County personnel.
Second.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Move that Eric Conley and Daniel McCartan be appointed Deputy Emergency Managers at a salary of $20 per hour per incident, effective January 1st, 2019, and authorize the supervisor to complete and sign the necessary forms for Erie County personnel.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move that the town funds be deposited into the West Seneca offices of the following banks effective January 1st, 2019. M&T Trust Company, Operating Trust and Agency, Payroll, Workers' Compensation, P&A, General Investment Reserve Account, Evans National Bank, Operating, J.P. Morgan Chase, Operating, Capital, Key Bank, Workers' Compensation.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move that the town board does hereby authorize all funds of the construction and improvement accounts to be maintained by consolidated bank account. But the town continues to maintain a separate improvement account at all times as recommended by the state auditors.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
I move that the town board approves the blanket purchase orders for utilities for the 2019 fiscal year. Telephone, $110,230. Verizon Wireless, Verizon Fios, Spectrum, and Level 3. Electricity, $432,432. NICEAG, Direct Energy, and National Grid. Gas, $86,000. National Fuel Resources. Water, $28,050. Erie County Water.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
I move that the town board of the town of West Seneca pursuant to local law 25 of the town law and local law 11-2 of the public officers law hereby approves the execution of a public employee's blanket bond issued by Fidelity Deposit Company covering all officers and employees including the supervisor, town board, town clerk, superintendent of highways, director of finance, and 2 town justices for the sum of $500,000 per occurrence, and be it further resolved that the undertaking shall be effective January 1st, 2019, noting that a $2,500 deductible will apply to the bond.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
I move that the West Seneca be designated as the official town newspaper, and that the Buffalo News and the Sun newspaper be used at the discretion of the board.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Move that the following titles of town department heads, elected or appointed officials, and certain other full-time employees not covered by contract provisions of the town in a blue-collar, white-collar, CSCA, or the West Seneca PBA grant be granted extended benefits, including Blue Shield or equivalent plan costs, as well as other health and welfare fund related benefits in accordance with the CSEA white collar contract, or equivalent with the exception of the chief of police and assistant chief of police, who are granted benefits pursuant to the contract with the West Seneca PBA. These will include the following: town clerk, highway superintendent, 2 town justices, town attorney, chief of staff, secretary to the supervisor, 2 clerks to the town justices, secretary to the highway superintendent, director of finance.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
I move that pursuant to local law 119-1 of the town law, the town clerk be authorized to draw warrants to pay any claims for fixed salaries for principal and interest on bonded or refunded debt or other loans on the legal or stated compensation of officers or employees of the town, or accounts becoming due upon lawful contract for a period not to extend 1 year.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
I move that the town continue its procurement policy in a manner set forth with the procurement and purchasing policy adopted by the town on July 27, 2015.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
I move that all vouchers for claims upon the town be acceptable for audit in the manner set forth in a procurement and purchasing policy adopted by the town on July 27, 2015.
Second.
On the question, all in favor? Aye. Move that mileage rate allowed to the public officials and town employees be tied to the internal revenue regulations and in a manner set forth in a policy adopted by resolution of the town board.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
I move that petty cash change funds be created as following. Accounting and financial consulting services, $250. Town clerk, $350. Receiver of taxes, $500. Highway superintendent, $250. Police confidential investigation, $2,500. Police department, $500. Recreation, $250. Justice court, $250. Senior citizen, $200.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Move that the town hall offices be open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. 5 days a week.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
I move that the West Seneca Senior Center be open to the public 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
I move that Drescher and Malecki LLP be employed to prepare the annual audit and also any other services that may be called for by the order of the town board at a fee not to exceed $40,000. And additional services involving accounting standards and consultations shall not exceed $15,000 and shall receive prior approval of the town board.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
I move that the town supervisor be authorized to sign checks for the West Seneca Library pursuant to local law 259 of the education law.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
I move that the supervisor and/or director of finance to the town be authorized to temporarily invest town monies not needed for immediate expenditure. And further, the town board adopts and authorizes the supervisor and/or director of finance to the town to comply with the investment policy and guidelines as originally adopted by the town board on 12/18/1989 and amended on 12/17/2012.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
I move that the following list of banks be added to the town investment policy for use at the discretion of the supervisor and/or the director of finance. Key Bank of Western New York, M&T Bank, Evans National Bank, Bank of America, J.P. Morgan Chase, and Citizens Bank.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
I moved that to the extent possible, regular meetings of the town board where not otherwise specified be held in the community room located in the West Seneca Community Center and Library as follows. You want to read the
I
dates?
don't think you have to read it.
All right, well, the dates,
They'll be online tomorrow.
the dates will all be online tomorrow. On a question, all in favor?
Aye.
I gotta finish. Yeah, and I'm gonna finish this. And any emergency meeting at the call of the supervisor. Special meetings shall be held at the call of the town clerk and the town of West Seneca upon written request of at least 2 members of the town board. Notice in writing stating the time, place, and purpose of the special meeting shall be served personally upon each member of the board at least 48 hours before the date fixed for holding the meeting. Only business specified in that notice, therefore, may be transacted at the special meeting. In accordance with the Opens Meeting Law, the public and news media shall be given reasonable notice of any special meeting, and all further executive sessions shall be public except for the specific purposes allowed by law.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
I move that the town board, subject to the provisions of section 284 of the highway law, enter into an agreement with the superintendent of highways that monies levied and collected into town for repair and improvement of the highways and received from the state for state aid for the repair and improvements of highways shall be expended pursuant to the terms set forth.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
I move that no town vehicles be used for personal use, and all town vehicles, including the equipment in the highway department, be identified by decals with the exception of the police department vehicles used for detective work and the police chief's car, and direct the supervisor to ensure that the decals are placed on all cars except those mentioned. Town vehicles for take-home use shall be provided to the chief of police, highway superintendent, and supervisor. Town vehicles shall not leave the town limits except for use on official town business.
Second.
On the question, all in favor? Aye. I move that no town equipment may be used for personal use.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
That in the interest of energy conservation, that the operation of a log be continued for each town-owned truck and vehicle as related to the mileage, destination, and task accomplished. Said log to be reviewed by the department head and forwarded monthly to the committee chairman responsible for that office. Further, that no town-owned vehicle except the police department vehicles be left running at any location for any reason. And further, that all town vehicles of various department heads, except police or highway, be left at town hall for general use while individuals are on vacation or any extended time off.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
I move that the town board sets the following rules related to the use of highway personnel and equipment for emergencies. 1. West Seneca Highway Department is authorized to provide emergency assistance to the local school systems, fire districts, or other municipalities if personnel or equipment are requested. 2. An emergency must exist and must have been declared in the Erie County municipality requesting that assistance. 3. Highway superintendent will promptly notify the supervisor of such action. A written summary will be immediately given to the town clerk and the town attorney outlining the details of the emergency service, including the Emergency Operations Center. 4. Town equipment will be operated by West Seneca employees in the majority of work situations. However, slow-moving vehicles like a roller, stationary equipment, air compressor, or pumps, and light tools may be loaned to another highway department to be used and operated by their employees, and fees may be assigned to the municipality that receives long-term aid. And 5, West Seneca Highway Superintendent is authorized to request aid from other towns in Erie County. Non-West Seneca resident personnel and equipment will work under the supervision of the West Seneca Highway Superintendent.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
I move that John Fenz be designated as a step 3 grievance hearing officer. I'll start. I move that John Fenz, town attorney, be designated as a step. Okay. I thought so. Okay. That's right. All right, let's do that one over. I move that John Fenz be designated as a step 3 grievance hearing officer by the town board effective January 1st, 2019, without remuneration.
Second.
On the question?
On the question, I know that John is moving on, and of course I do wish him well in that, but I question whether or not we shouldn't have our new town attorney serve in that position. I'm not aware of any current grievances, and any work that is done under that step 3 is done in consultation with our labor attorneys, and I think that the new town attorney could handle it quite easily.
I won't disagree that the new town attorney can handle this very good. I do believe that John Fenz is working on a couple of things with human resources. Could be for the workers' comp, it could be for another thing. I would like to afford John Fenz the opportunity to complete those tasks.
But I would make a request that Human Resources keeps the new town attorney informed of any of these step 3 grievance processes that are ongoing, if there are any. And I know HR is here today, and I'm sure that should be more than willing to help with that. Eventually, the town attorney will have to take this over.
Just for the information for the board, he currently has a couple issues that he's going to close out, and that is the reason for that, but he will always be giving that information, updating the new town attorney to keep things running smoothly and making that transition over so that she'll take on the full load of all the items that would be in front of her for the year for 2019.
My other question on that will remain without remuneration whether we have another agreement with Mr. Fens or not, I assume.
That's correct.
That's correct. All right, so we have a motion on the floor to, that John Fens be designated as a Step 3 grievance hearing officer by the town board effective January 1st, 2019 without remuneration.
Second.
All right, on the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
That's a
Yeah.
negative.
I don't agree with
All right, I move that Mark Kohler be appointed as a town's fair housing officer and affirmative action officer effective January 1st, 2019 at an annual stipend of $1,200 and further direct Mr. Kohler to submit a yearly report documenting matters handled.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye. Motion carried.
Motion carried.
Okay, okay.
Oh,
Okay, the supervisor, Sheila Megan, I'm announcing the following personnel appointments committees for the year of 2019, noting that myself and the town attorney will be a member of each committee. For deputy supervisor, Councilman William Hanley. Committees and liaisons, utility advisor, Steve Amoya, William Hanley, Robert Niederprum. Engineering and special districts, Sheila Megan. Police and public safety, Sheila Megan. Senior citizen, Eugene Hart. Recreation, William Hanley Jr. Library, Eugene Hart. Highway, Sheila Megan. Insurance, Sheila Megan. Capital projects, Sheila Megan, Eugene Hart, William Hanley Jr., Matthew English, and Steve Tanner. Town attorney, liaison, William Hanley. Justice courts, Eugene Hart. Town clerk's office, Sheila Megan. Town assessor's office, Eugene Hart. Building and plumbing department, Eugene Hart. Revenue development committee, Sheila Megan, Eugene Hart, William Hanley Jr. Safety and accident review, William Hanley Jr. Comprehensive planning committee, Eugene Hart, William Hanley, Steve Tanner, Conley Minor, Sheila Megan. Liaison members from the Environmental Commission, Conservation Committee, I'm so sorry. Sheila Megan, Eugene Hart, William Hanley Jr. Van Shell Committee, Eugene Hart. Solid Waste Committee, Eugene Hart. Employee Assistant Program, William Hanley Jr., Laura Devine, Emily Melsky. Human Resources, Sheila Megan, Emily Melsky.
No.
And that concludes the reorg meeting. Our town board meeting will convene at 7 p.m. Thank you all for coming. And it's only 22, so in 20 minutes we'll start our town board meeting, if you care to stay for the board meeting. Thank you.